one of Throw versus Shaft. For the side of Shaft, Gearing, Ragnar, Moskva, Des Moines, Napoli, Salem, and then double St. Vincent. Remember, Ragnar is inherently underpowered. That's why you got to bring 2. And if you don't know that meme, look it up. And then over on the side of Throw, we've got a Gearing, a Marceau, a Ragnar, Moskva, Salem, Petro, Des Moines, and then a Kremlin and a St. Vincent. One of the interesting things I'm really seeing, chat, as I go back and forth between casting EU and NA, is that St. Vincent is a lot more popular on EU. St. Vincent, I've seen a lot more of these on the EU tournament than I have in the NA. That's not to say they don't exist in NA, but we're still seeing a fair amount of Ohios and Kremlins, even occasionally Yamatos on NA, Montanas, but St. Vincent is not being taken at this level where it's 3 out of 4 battleships. Other thing I like that I see that's interesting is the Ragnars. We see some Ragnars over on the NA side, but definitely seeing more Marceau, Kleber, Gearing, Daring spam. Granted, Daring was banned in this match, so that's why we're not seeing any, and that may change the setups. But 3 Ragnars is a little bit unusual as well from what we're used to seeing. So, let's look into this game as it goes. Looks like we're going to see an early cap attempt from the side of Shaft onto B. The Ragnar's going to get up there. He's going to go into this little island gap right here, and then he's going to turn around and edge back in. Advantage of that is that his escape is very easy. If he's sitting right there, he just zoops right around this island back into protection. But this Gearing of Melvin can be a very dangerous thing depending on where they go. Looks like early Marceau push to try to get in and take A for the side of Throw. Des Moines looks like he's going to be too far away to radar that, so that should be an easy cap, and they're going to do a island beach and go back in. And now the Ragnar backing up and in like we said. So, Ragnar, though, will have one downside, which is the Petro of Kutuzov being there will have the radar ability, but they don't have anything to really punish him, so this is going to be a cat and mouse game for a while. As I look over here at C, St. Vincent, Salem going wide. Expect to see them down the 10 line almost. Salem, especially St. Vincent, might sit on the 9. But I expect to see the Salem here and then another Salem maybe here. Looks like positioning advantage for the side of Shaft here because their Salem's about half to 3/4 of a square ahead. And now we got the first radar. Both Ragnars have been spotted by the Petro's radar. We'll see if Doom wants to open up and if anyone has the angle on Zil 2. Looks like nobody has the angle on Zil 2. We are seeing those opening shots and first hits trying to come in on Antaro. No dice yet. He's still spotted because he's returned fire. There's the first hit. Shells in. Are they going to reset? The answer is no, ladies and gentlemen, and B will be taken by Shaft. First cap claim just under 3 minutes. And Doom definitely got the worst end of that trade, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a major difference, but for a radar being committed, and you guys having that many ships opening up there, for your Moskva to be down 9,000 health and your Ragnar to have lost 3,500 versus doing just 1,500 damage doesn't feel great. Now, that being said, the Des Moines of Amazing over here is taking a fair amount of damage. He's trying to get up into the Gearing smoke, but he's been spotted. Marceau not going to be able to get the cap because that Des Moines has gone up to range to radar him. But that Des Moines is paying for it. Ben and Demon Slayer are absolutely massacring him right now. Down to 37,000. Already lost 20,000 health. He goes dark now. Last shots in. Don't hit it. But watch out because if he goes up any further, Demon Slayer is going to have a radar range. We'll have to watch to see. This is going to be very tight on if the radar is going to detect. Looks like he's not going to go for it, and that's going to tilt away. Des Moines trying to turn out from these torps, ladies and gentlemen. So far, though, no major damage to either side. Des Moines taking a little bit. Moskva is taking a little bit. Now, let's watch and make sure this dodge happens. Look like this dodge is in a very good spot because he's got the lineup set up well so that he'll be able to avoid those. Looks like the Des Moines of Demon Slayers found a dodge spot as well. And here comes the Ragnar Raider. So they're going to spot the Marceau as he comes back in. And after taking B, I like this move a lot. Moving the Ragnar out away from B now that you've claimed it and being able to radar and deny that Marceau the ability to take A is paying major dividends. The points lead's already 70 and climbing. Also, aggressive position St. Vincent, anyone? This can be very powerful because it's going to make it a 5-on-4 and you've got a battleship there at this island. But that's very aggressive. Shots out on the Marceau. Those look decent. 3K, not probably as much as he wanted, but still a really good hit. Petro with another radar. They spot the Moskva. And here's what I was talking about. You got the Salems on the 10 line. Kremlin of Kath being all the way onto the 10 line is an interesting choice here, ladies and gentlemen. This can pay dividends, but this can also be extremely dangerous. And the Salem taking a lot of damage. He's got the heal ready. Down to 28,000. I expect to see that heal pop pretty soon here, especially with him on fire. And that's the positioning I was talking about. This Salem having a slower push in means Kamikazes has gone in there for free, while Exot is down half his health and has to use a heal soon. Ragnar, though, he's taken some pretty effective fire from range. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And the other disadvantage to this positioning for the side of throw is its Russian is got a beautiful angle. Look here at the angle he's looking at as he goes in on the Salem. We'll follow this next salvo of shells in from him. And you can just see the angle he gets here as the shells zoom in. It's an angle, so he doesn't have the ability to Citadel, but he's got the ability to harass that Salem. Now, long run Salem versus Moskva, I still probably favor the Salem because of the super heal, but that's just in the isolated one-on-one. This makes it a lot different. 440 points for the side of Shaft now. Looking out here, there's no way they're getting to A, but we see that Throw has decided to move Jubsy down to B, and Jubsy will take B, and that'll be how he'll get his, they'll get a cap back. That'll stop the bleeding temporarily, but it's still a lot of damage they have taken, and a lot of points they're down right now. Marceau having the ability to try to hit the St. Vincent doesn't look like he's getting it, but this Marceau position does bring in a spot where he can hit onto its Russian, and its Russian may radar him, but you don't really have anything in position to hit him yet, and now you're being shoved forward and forced to go back into the Salem's angle, which is not what its Russian wants. So, its Russian keeps poking forward, doesn't have the heal, he has the DCP, has chosen not to use it, out of range finally of the Marceau, but the Salem is still sitting there, taking a lot of damage again, ladies and gentlemen. And there, the points that he's going to hold steady at just about 160 now with the caps being taken. So, let's keep an eye on this. So, Salem, EXOT, he is at 21,000, he's healing. St. Vincent taking a semi-decent chunk there from him. 30,000 health lead for the side of Shaft, though. And the Kremlin also taking a lot of damage. I mean, Kamikaze's getting here has just been absolutely brutal for them. Kremlin on a fair few fires, just a little bit warm and toasty. Going to see a DCP and a heal here within the next 10 seconds. Heal comes up first and is popped. DCP comes up second. And they're gonna pop it as well because he needs to stay alive. St. Vincent taking a lot of damage, though, while we were watching the Kremlin. 36,000. He's popping the heal, but he is on fire, and he's getting whittled down slowly but surely. This damage is going to continue to harass him and be a very big annoyance. Apprenticeship mechanic of the British ships working well. Shells in. Ooh, and that's a hit he didn't want to take. Down to 40,000 as his max health. Feels rough. And he's on the burn. He doesn't have a heal for 30 seconds. But the problem is, this Kremlin and Salem are not long for this world. They're shoving in, trying to protect each other. But this just means that the Kremlin's going to die here in a second. They're trying to keep the Salem alive. Because Kremlin has got there in a position to protect him. Ragnar takes a big chunk down to 15,000. He does have one heal left. But we're about to see first blood, ladies and gentlemen. Kath going out. He gets his shells out. Down to 200 health. And Shaft claim the first kill of the game just under 9 minutes in. And that health lead is now 100,000. And Shaft is in full push. You can see they've moved the gearing, the Napoli, and the Des Moines up. They're shadowing as they force back the left flank of Throw. And then in the center, you've got the St. Vincent and the Ragnar that are just absolutely brutalizing Killer Bin right now. And so, Des Moines Radar, they'll spot the gearing temporarily, but I don't think it'll be enough. And you can see Gasando has just healed back up. So all that damage they got on him is just been absolutely worth nothing. And that's one of the things that I think is making the St. Vincent so popular is that heal. You can see the Salem of Exot over here has finally gone down. Kamikaze's pushed up and around now that they've had the timing. And ladies and gentlemen, with a 2-ship lead and 360 points, this is looking really, really strong for Shaft. They've got them penned in. They've made it into a bit of a horseshoe front here. C is about to be claimed. Watch for Admiral Kutuzov coming through here. He wants to kill the Moskva, but he's got a St. Vincent that's about to show up in his face. Oh, he might be actually going for Vert, and Vert down to 8,000. Vert does get dark. He'll heal back up. That'll take him back up into the 30,000 range. Demon Slayer goes down over here, ladies and gentlemen, from the St. Vincent fire. And B is being taken. Nope, it's not being contested anymore. Ragnar backs off of it for a second. And we can see that this is going to be the last gasp for throw in this game. Admiral Kutuzov is being focused down by the St. Vincent, the Ragnar, the other St. Vincent. He's going to be gone. Marceau going for a play to try to clear off at least one ship. We'll see how this goes. Here comes the speed, ladies and gentlemen. Jubzi's done this before. We watched this yesterday. He had a couple brilliant ones with this. Takes a big chunk on the first one. First salvo of torps out. He doesn't get a second, though, so that will not be a kill onto its Russian. Just one torp hitting, and valiant effort, desperate last gasp, but with a 4-ship to 0 lead and up 130,000 health, this game's going to go to the side of Shaft. St. Vincent goes right past Admiral Kutuzov, 2 ships passing in the night. Now Admiral Kutuzov going to put the shells into the Moskva, but it looks like they're not going to do much damage. St. Vincent completely ignoring him, actually, and Kutuzov just steaming up on this Moskva. They're trying to at least get one kill. It's all up right now, just trying to claim at least and salvage some successes in this game. Moskva down to 33,000. Kutuzov down to 9k. They're slapping its Russian, but Petro is about to die, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if they manage to get anything. He's down to 235 health. He does get one more shot out. And the Moskva of Silu gets absolutely smoked as well. It's Russian trying to get in for the ram, and he will not get in for the ram. So, Silu being traded back just about now with the Salem coming in on his broadside, but at least Throw does claim one kill. But it doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen. We're a minute and a half away from Shaft winning this game, and they are just putting on a statement. Ragnar of Wydom is down to 5,900. He's getting chunked. He has no heals. He's trying to go dark. Shells out from everything. And ladies and gentlemen, he'll go down. That brings it to 936 for the side of Shaft. And 42 seconds until they win. Shots out from Killer Bin trying to hit Gasando and take him out. They'll get a little bit of damage, but it's not enough. Radar's out. Ragnar spotted, ladies and gentlemen. This game's going to be over before the time runs out. And 21,000 health left on the St. Vincent, but 6,000 on the Gearing. And the Gearing, ladies and gentlemen, knows it's over. He's down to 2,000. And ladies and gentlemen, Shaft will take game number 1. Well played to both teams, but Shaft takes the win. And that was a statement.